The Transfiguration in Matthew 17 was not merely an extraordinary event tucked into the gospel narrative, though it was, but it was a divine window through which the disciples caught a glimpse of tomorrow's certainty among today's frailty. On that mountain, Jesus' countenance changed. His face shone like the sun. His garments radiated pure as light. And the disciples stood there awestruck before the unveiled majesty of God's Son. For a brief moment, they saw what had been true all along: the eternal glory veiled beneath the ordinary humanity of Christ. This scene is not distant from us. It is, in fact, a picture of hope for every believer walking through the weakness and the weariness of life under Adam's shadow. Our days are filled with reminders of limitation, aging bodies, uncertain futures, repetitive routines, disappointments that bruise our confidence, and sins that still cling to our thoughts. Yet the Transfiguration declares that these limitations are not the end of the story. God's plan does not terminate in our frailty, but moves through it, promising transformation. When the disciples later descended the mountain, the world had not changed, but they had. Their eyes had glimpsed the glory that awaited beyond the cross. The same vision steadies the believer today. The Transfiguration calls us to live with the end in view, to measure our hardships not by their present weight, but by the eternal glory to come. Tomorrow's certainty gives purpose to today's struggle. This hope is how the Transfiguration meets us in our humanness. It whispers truth into the heart that grows weary from laboring, from parenting, from serving, from enduring. It reminds us that the Christ who shone on that mountain is the same Christ who resides within every believer. And though his glory is still veiled in our mortal flesh, his transforming work is underway at this moment. Every act of obedience, every surrender of pride, every moment of repentance is a movement toward that transfiguring day when we will see him as he is and we will be like him. When life feels heavy and our humanity seems more burden than blessing, we can look toward that day and think rightly about this day. The Transfiguration assures us that weakness does not disqualify us from glory. It actually prepares us for it. Our earthly limitations, our struggles with sin, and our daily reliance on grace are reminders that the power at work in us is not our own. They drive us to depend on the one whose glory never fades. So as we walk through this day with all of its ordinary moments, we can rest in the certainty that a divine transformation is already underway. What is fragile now will one day be clothed in immortality. What is dim will be radiant. What is broken will be made whole. The same voice that spoke on that mountain still speaks through his word today. This is my beloved Son. Listen to him. Listening to him anchors us in the hope that tomorrow's glory is not uncertain, it is promised, and that promise gives strength for today's frailty.